This program is dedicated to the men and women of the United States Customs Service who risk their lives enforcing more than 1,400 laws, more than any other law enforcement agency. The undercover footage in this program was shot by the United States Customs Service while in action. Until now, this footage has been classified and unavailable for viewing by the public. As the 14 bodies were pulled from the well in the dusty heat of June 1989 in Agua Prieta, no one could begin to explain the madness of this mass murder. All had been killed and dropped to their grave in an abandoned well. It wasn't until a year later that Customs inadvertently uncovered the missing link to the murder victims. On May 14th, 1990, Rafael Camarena fled the United States. U.S. Customs agents wanted to know what he was running from. U.S. Customs. Classified.
Air-to-air chases with drug smugglers, breaking up child pornography rings, or shutting down Saddam Hussein's clandestine dealings for nuclear weapons. These are but a few of the actual cases from the closed files of the United States Customs Service. I'm Dick Wirt, a senior special agent with U.S. Customs. The Customs Service has thousands of previously untold stories, as well as dramatic undercover footage that until now have been classified and unavailable for viewing by the public.
All right, boys and girls, here's the bad guy. Rafael Camarena.
Nice shot. What?
Camarena was unknown to law enforcement when he came to the border. He brought money, jobs, and open businesses. He had political ties in Mexico and Douglas. It was one of the best cons by a drug kingpin we had ever seen, and it was about to get worse.
We got the case aids here, Bill. Tell us a little bit about how this thing got started. As I understand, what was it, a snitch or a phone call? What was the deal?
We received a phone call from an informant.
Yes, I'd like to speak to someone in charge.
When he called, he said he just wanted to talk. It was drug-related, and it was important that he talk to someone. At that point, I had to give it a shot, so I went ahead and brought it up to McDermott.
I received a call from Bill Gately of the Iraq in my Phoenix office, and what he told me was shocking, surprising, and I have to tell you that what he told me I was hoping was not true, because if it was going to be the biggest case that I'd ever worked on, and possibly the biggest case in the history of the Customs Service. After Bill's initial conversation with the informant, I was anxious for him to meet face-to-face with him, even though I realized this could be a very dangerous meeting.
I went in and met with him, and I was surprised because he wasn't your typical informant.
What made him different?
Well, the fact that he was educated, very well educated, that he was very well dressed, he was a respectable businessman, and he spoke perfect English.
I want you to know up front, I want nothing for the information I'm about to give you. In fact, it can cost me my life. About a year ago, I designed a tunnel that goes underground from Mexico across the Arizona state line. I know it's being used to smuggle drugs. I can put you within 100 yards of the tunnel.
What?
This is an underground tunnel specifically for smuggling drugs.
Did you see this tunnel?
No, I haven't seen the tunnel. He drew a map for me, a design of the tunnel, and it was amazing.
Why did Stu come forward? What was the deal?
The guy came forward because basically he hadn't been paid for his work. They stiffed him.
You believe it? I mean,
Well, no, I didn't believe it from that, but the possibility existed, and the idea of a drug tunnel is certainly possible.
Bill told me he had read an article about some American geologists who had found tunnels between North and South Korea and thought that perhaps these people would be the team that we would need here in Arizona to find our tunnel. So I approved it.
We sent in a geological team. They did a sonar survey. They sent in sound waves into the ground area all the way across here, and they came up with what they call anomalies, which indicates to us that it's a tunnel.
So from that point, we discovered that there was actually a tunnel. We had the green light. We were able to go ahead on the project.
We had committed all of our resources to this investigation. And if we were wrong, we ran the risk of ruining America's relationship with Mexico forever.
U.S. Customs Classified will return in a moment.
Here we go. What are we looking at?
Well, what we have is the international border between the United States and Mexico.
What we have here is Camarena's house in Mexico. The tunnel went down here, underneath the house, up into the warehouse, okay? We thought it was about 45 feet deep here, and it extended about 300 feet all the way across, about the size of a football field, and that's, of course, the border there.
It cost our engineers estimated about $2 million to build, which they recouped in the first hour of operation.
Now, what we had to do to cover it is place video surveillance in this area here, and we complemented it with agents disguised as utility workers so they blend in.
What we did from there is we started following Camarena's trucks.
Okay, we secured our positions. We're watching as trucks are moving in and out of the warehouse location. Flatbeds come in empty. Hours later, they come back fully loaded up. I'm telling you guys, if there is a tunnel, the drugs have to be hidden on those trucks. But where?
We followed the trucks on their route from Douglas all the way into Phoenix about a half a dozen times.
And how long is this route, Bill?
8 times in 8 days, actually.
We're currently traveling north, tailing Camarena's truck. He could be headed towards Phoenix.
But finally, it paid off. Camarena met a guy with a flatbed out here in a biker bar in Phoenix.
Camarena's just pulled into the lot. He's getting out, so is the truck driver. Okay, they're shaking hands. They're having some kind of discussion here. Okay, they're splitting up. Camarena is headed out. Salazar, you pick up Camarena, and we'll follow the truck. You copy on that?
Then he got back in the car, he took off. So what I did is I cut loose 2 of the guys from the force here to go ahead and follow Camarena into Mexico. And the rest of us figured the best bet was to stick with the truck. We stayed with the truck, that's what we did, we followed it.
After we followed that truck, the trailer, we followed right straight into a ranch house just outside of Phoenix. And it was kind of tough because it's nothing but open land. Thanks to Mr. Cooper, I had him hunker down there in that field and get a closer look for us.
Special Agent Cooper was brought in to perform a very delicate surveillance task. Cooper was perfect for this because of his infantry background. It was crucial he got in close enough to identify that there were drugs present. But if he got too close, our mission would be blown.
We have 3 male Hispanics. They have some sort of welding equipment, and they're cutting on the bed of the truck. Okay, all the subjects just entered the scene. Also a male Hispanic moving part of the truck bed. Definitely some illegal activity here, gentlemen. It looks like we have a 30-foot truck bed. And the occupants are now lifting off a steel plate. Looks like we have another occupant come in with a wheelbarrow, and they are loading what looks like drugs into the wheelbarrow. Yes, I believe we have narcotics. We do definitely have some illegal activity here. I think that the best thing to do is set up the perimeter of the house.
And what they were using was torches and those hydraulic jacks to lift that corrugated plate of steel. And once they got that steel off of that flatbed, that's where all the kilos were just placed nice and
Neatly set up.
Exactly.
So at what point did you roll back to his house?
Well, once we got the dope there, we said we would go back to the origination point, which was the tunnel back in Douglas. So went back there and laid out a game plan with Minus and the rest of the group there.
Bill, you'll be the team leader for the execution of the warrant.
Got it.
We'll have one entry team, security team. Mac, you'll make entry with Squad A. Gary, you'll cover the rear with Squad B. And Carlos, you'll cover the perimeter. Make sure that we've got the side entrances blocked off. Now we'll approach the residence from the north and the south. There's a steel gate in front. Once we get in there, we're into the residence. Now let's go, let's get them.
Okay, all right.
Good.
The raid in Phoenix was a total success. We seized over 2,200 pounds of cocaine. We had 3 arrests. But now the next step would be the most critical one. We wanted the tunnel, and we wanted Rafael Camarena.
Once we hit that warehouse, I mean, it was kind of strange at first because we go in there and there's nothing.
It's packed with
I mean,
stuff, but
yeah.
there's nothing.
Yeah,
That's what
there's
we've seen.
building materials.
Yeah, there's building materials everywhere. We had to walk through like kitty corner around stuff to get into where we were going there, and still didn't find a thing right away. We started to think maybe we'd made a mistake.
Our last hope was the suspicious-looking water drain at the back of the warehouse. So we started jackhammering.
Jackhammer broke us through, and we knew something was going on.
Camarena's lookout, hearing the agent's voices, runs to warn Camarena.
Look at this. Holy cow.
Hey, Bill, we got a shaft down here.
All right, I'm on my way down. Son of a bitch.
Hey, guys! You're not gonna believe this.
The entrance to the tunnel in the warehouse was through a trap door. The entrance at Camarena's house was under a cement slab that was lifted by hydraulics and usually had a pool table covering it. When the customs agents raided Camarena's house, there was hot food on the table. He had avoided capture by just minutes.
In every war, there are heroes and there are villains. In this case, the heroes are the agents who closed down a tunnel in Douglas, Arizona, stopping the flow of over $40 million worth of illicit narcotics into this country every day.
The dead bodies discovered at the abandoned well may have been tunnel workers. Until we apprehend Rafael Camarena, we'll never know. Camarena remains at large today. If you have information that could lead to his capture, please call your nearest customs office. On the next U.S. Customs Classified. Agents track this plane to a mothership. When they realize Customs is on their trail, the bad guys destroy the ship and its illegal cargo. Customs canine officers and their dogs capture a man entering the country with millions of dollars in illegal funds. The story of Stanley Liston, a Native American customs agent who uses his ancient tracking skills to protect our borders. And high-ranking officials from Croatia come to Texas, trying to procure weapons of war.
The U.S. Customs Service has a proud history of service to the nation for more than 200 years. Through it all, Customs has remained true to its mission, protecting the revenue while enforcing a wide array of diverse laws. I hope we have shed some light on the vital mission of the more than 19,000 men and women of Customs who have devoted their lives to protecting the American way of life. My name is Dick Wirt. Thank you for watching.